for it, it won't be there, they'll get disappointed, and then there goes your readers. And what I found is it's also very time consuming, especially to do a full color comic. So the best way that I found is to just try and streamline my process and do it quickly. So this is actually how the comics start, is I just draw them really roughly in my sketchbook. And you'll see from this sketch to my final one is that it's not even the same number of rows, or it's not even divided properly. But I like to draw my ideas in the sketchbook because it's just easier to get my ideas out. And if I write little notes in the corner, then I can just correct it later when I get on the computer. So I'll scan my sketch in, and then I will just copy the different frames and actually just paste and rearrange them in a pre-made template I have that is the exact width of every comic so that they're all consistent. And so the process is much the same that I showed you with the Bowser girl picture, except I've just sort of streamlined it even more. I start off with the sketches laid out, and then I'll have the line work I do first. I will keep separate, on a separate layer, the cell dividers, and I'll actually also keep another separate layer for drawing the word balloons. And this way, if I'm drawing the word balloons over the cell dividers, I can easily erase one without messing up the other. So again, that's another great reason to organize your layers and name them. So after I get the line work in, I like to throw the text in. I put that in its own folder because there's usually a lot of text in the comic. And so it's easy to just put that in a folder and make that so it can hide. And then I start doing color. I usually throw in the background first. And I just, rough this in pretty quickly, because the most important part about the comic is the characters. And then I'll do all the skin on one layer, even for multiple characters, because it just goes faster this way. I can get my line work down and then just select with that magic wand tool all of the different sections of skin, blood fill it, there it's mostly in, and then I can just start laying the shading in. And from there I'll go to the hair and the clothing, and then I'll just start filling in some of the objects in the background. And that's basically it. I just use the same process with selecting those, using those base colors, making the whole selection, lets me color within the lines. And so it comes together fast, and I find that it's a fast way of working. There's not a lot of back and forth cleanup involved. And it lets me able to turn my comics in on time and use that work. So, any questions about working with comics or any of this? Okay. Well, I think I blew through that really fast, so if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask me. So that's basically the question. Oh wait, I got a question right there. The panels. I actually simply use the line tool, and I just have them, I sort of just have a system to keep it consistent where the horizontal lines I always do 7 pixels and the vertical lines are always 5 pixels. But yeah, I just have it on a separate layer, just use the line tool. Anyone else? Nope. Oh.
The last picture she
She's just trying to make a, how do you say that? Homunculi. She got inspired from FMA, what can I say? Yep.
What is the process of creating the word balloons?
The word balloons? Definitely what I always do first is, well, in my rough sketch, I'll write all the text in and just sketch the word balloons very lightly. And then when I go and actually add the text on the computer, I'll put the text in first, and then on a new layer, draw the word balloons around them so that there's no running out of space. That's, I've seen that happen a lot with some amateur contests. People will draw the balloon first, and then they'll put the words in, and then, oops, there's too many words, and they'll start cramming in all the words, and they'll not fit in the balloon. So it's best to do the text first, and then draw the balloon around it. Anybody else? Oh, in the back there. Drawing characters? Well, I don't know if my comic is a very good example of accurate anatomy. It's mostly pretty squishy looking. But for drawing characters in general, I know everyone says this, but it really is the best idea to do, real life figure drawing, go to a coffee shop or draw your friends, or, look at photos and other artwork.
Buy a Figma.
Yeah, or Figma. Those are fun. Well, in the case of this background, I think I literally just selected this whole section like this, and then did a gradient from this peachy color down to white, and then I colored the floor a different color, and then for this background with the glass, I actually didn't use the gradient tool. I just colored, I did do a gradient with blue, and then I took some transparent brushes and just brushed some white on there to make it kind of look like a reflection.
Where does the transparent brushes?
What?
Where does the transparent brushes used?
Oh, well, what you can do is just take the regular brush, and I'm really not too fancy with brushes. There's a lot of artists who make their own custom brushes. I pretty much just use these basic Photoshop brushes, and if you look at the opacity, if you turn this down, then it gets much clearer. So this is that green color at only 20%, and then the more you go over itself, the darker it gets.
Oh, okay.
So this is a good way to make another good style of shading here. Did I see another question? Oh, yeah.
Besides Photoshop, do you use any other tools like Illustrator or Corel? Or?
Actually, I really would love to learn Corel Painter. I have played around with it, but Photoshop is kind of my baby. It's kind of my favorite program. I feel like everything just works as it should. And Illustrator, is sort of a different story because you're drawing with vectors instead of pixels. Really, I mostly use Photoshop for almost everything, but really I should be adventurous and learn new things. Anyone else? Okay, well that's pretty much it. That's my technique, so I hope you guys learned something, and if not, I hope it was at least shiny pictures. So, have a good time. Yeah, thank you very much.